Good morning, Willowbrook. Steve Lacy here, and so excited that today we complete John as we read John chapter 21. So we went through all of the Gospels. Tomorrow we move into Acts. And as I was looking through John 21, there's a section in here that a lot of people maybe look past, but I think it's something that really applies to us today. Remember, after Jesus has the discussions with Peter, he basically lets Peter know that Peter's going to die. He's going to be a martyr. He's going to die for his faith, which I believe Peter was okay with. Peter has said before, when he denied Christ, I'd go to prison and die for you. And I think Peter's ready to do that. But something very interesting happens. As Jesus tells him this, Peter looks and sees John behind them. And he says, what about him? And I thought it's amazing that here's Peter willing to die for Christ, but he doesn't want to be the only one that dies. And I just think we do that sometime in our life. We get into a comparison. We'll do whatever God calls us to do, but if we see someone who has a call that's maybe not as tough as ours, we have questions. I mean, we live in a comparing society. We go to Facebook and we compare our lives against the highlights of everyone else and where they vacation and what they do. And we fall into comparison. But I think of Hebrews chapter 12, where it says we are to run with endurance the race that is set before us. Now, I like that because as I read that, I think our races are personalized. In other words, I think the race God has me on is not the same one you're on. We're all in a race of faith, but I think the track I'm on is different. I've run a marathon, a couple marathons, and marathons have different kind of challenges. They're really gridded. Some are more uphill, hilly. Some are almost a downhill grade, and so there's ones you can choose. And I think what happens so many times, we're on the track God's called us to walk, and we look and say, wait a minute, God, why do they still have their job when I've lost mine? Or wait a minute, God, why are they in a great marriage and mine's not? Or wait a minute, God, why do they have this or that? And I think we fall into that comparison. And I think it's interesting because when Peter says that, he basically just says, follow me. And that's what we're called to do, follow him. So listen, God has set a course before you. He has marked it out, marker to marker, and we just follow him to the next step, the next step, the next step. And if we find ourselves setting our eyes on someone else and thinking, Lord, what about them? We turn it back to ourselves and just ask a simple question, God, am I following you? Am I on the course that you've called me to run? And am I running it with faith? Well, you guys have done great staying on course through the Gospels. Continue tomorrow as we move into Acts. Guys, just today, focus on God, focus on Christ, and just say, Lord, how can I today follow you?